Hello everyone, welcome to Throwback Thursday, and today on Throwback Thursday we're going to talk about Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. And of course this will be revisited, hopefully if Fox XX actually is cool and will actually show all of the freaking Halloween episodes so I can actually do a reevaluation, so I can actually tell you the true top 10 or the 10 episodes of the Halloween episodes you should definitely watch. Alright. Oh well, let's just do it, shall we? So, first things first is let's talk about the first one. The very first one, you can't actually not mention the first one. So, the first one, you had a bad dream house, which that was kind of funny. Just the fact of, this is a house that was haunted, and it was trying to make the family, because the Simpsons family moved in, and he was trying to make a move, but they didn't move, and then they were trying to say, hey, we should actually just try to live together, and something like that. So the house said, okay, let me think about it, and as soon as they got out of the house, he decided to just destroy himself, engulf them in a black hole. That's what the house did. Hungry Are the Damned, I don't remember that one. Damn. And the Raven, I remember the Raven. The Raven was crazy. I think this was like the first time ever where they actually was telling the story. Yeah, so they were telling the treehouse story. They were telling the story in the treehouse. Homer overheard and he got scared after the Raven. The Raven scared him the most. And he's like, oh, I hate Halloween. Ooh, 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 ooh. That was so funny. Alright, so yeah, that's one. I would mention the second one, but I don't really remember. I remember the monkey paw. I definitely remember the monkey paw, but it's just not going to be mentioned because I don't remember. Then we got the third one. The third one is very notable of what happened. Clown Without a Pity. I wonder if that actually is the toy version of Krusty. I think that might actually be the toy Krusty one. If not, then I don't remember because freaking Fox XX was a total jerk. So, anyways, I remember King Homer. King Homer was crazy, and because of King Homer, I thought that King Kong had a happy ending. But because I watched the 2005 version, as you can see, the 2005 version, King Kong got shot down and killed. So I was like, oh, jeez, really? Anyways, the last one is Dial Z for Zombie, and it's a good one to mention because he actually was wearing the Thriller album cover over his head, and he used Walmart as one of the spell words to actually raise the dead. And he did raise the dead. It was kind of funny. And he also had the mix up of John Smith. It's like, John Smith of 1884? Oh, sorry. Because it was two John Smith zombies. Could talk about the fourth one, but I really don't remember the fourth one, and that sucks. Excuse me. If the fourth one is what I think it is, The Devil and Homer Simpson, that was the one when he actually got a donut, and the damning donut actually, if he eats the whole entire donut, he's going to be sent to hell forever to freaking get tortured. He didn't eat the donut at first. He ate all the donuts except one, and he said, I tricked the devil. You didn't trick me, Homer Simpson. You'll eat the donut yet. And I was like, oh, friggin'. So he made sure that he wouldn't eat the donut, and he had lots of signs and stuff, but he was sleeping. He was sleep eating, so you would figure he actually would do it, like truly lock it down, truly lock it down. But anyways, the fifth one is the one I really should talk about. The Shining, or Shinning, because they couldn't say Shining because they'll get copyrighted. So they did the Shinning, and Bart was the one who was able to summon Groundskeeper Willie. That was funny. And Groundskeeper Willie got hit in the back, just like how the chef in The Shining actually got killed. Which, that was interesting. I saw The Shining previously, and I don't understand the ending, so damn. But anyways, I love the fact that it was like no beer and no TV makes Homer do something. Go crazy? Don't mind if I do. That was so awesome. And then he actually, he chased the family with an axe. And they all got frozen together because apparently there was a portable TV outside. And they all just gathered around its warm glow and they all got frozen. And then the thing that was very, very messed up was still continuing to turn on because they all were frozen. And he was like, urging to kill, rising. And the family was like, no. Oh, and not to mention the fact of him actually acting open the door. Let me just say The Shining actually was a perfect parody of The Shining. It was so funny and everything. As for The Shining, the movie itself, yeah, lots of questions. I have too many questions about that movie. Well, anyways, I don't remember Time and Punishment. Maybe that's the one where he's time traveling. I don't remember. But Nightmare Cafeteria, I remember that one. That was actually Bart having a nightmare about the fact of the teachers and the principal became cannibals and they kept on serving their students. Kept on chopping them, killing them, and everything. So that was crazy. And let's see, number 6. I don't remember. I think number 6 actually housed Groundskeeper Willie being Freddy Krueger. Alright, next is the only reason why I mentioned number 7 is because of the last one, Citizen Kane. Which that was very funny. The fact that Kane and Kodos basically stole the original Bill Clinton and Bob Dole and then body snatched. Basically copied their bodies and then turned themselves into them. So they're able to actually conquer the world. Or at least conquer America. That was funny. And then sadly Homer came to the rescue, but at the cost of he accidentally sent them into space. So the original Bob Dole and Bill Clinton are now dead in space, floating around somewhere naked. So all you got is just freaking 2 aliens, and Kang won, and Homer admits he voted for Kodos. That was a good one. Alright, next one is, I won't talk about number 8 because I don't remember. I think Fly vs. Fly could have actually been when Bart fused himself with a fly creature. Maybe. But anyways, we're talking about number 9. Number 9 is Hell to Pay, which you have Snake who got freaking electrocuted on live TV. And then Homer had a transplant of taking Snake's scalp and putting it on his head, and now he has a head full of hair, but it came at a cost. The hair was evil and actually embodied Snake, and Snake actually said before he died he's going to kill every single person who snitched on him. I think Mo snitched on him. I think Mo, I think Wiggum might have got killed. Apu definitely got killed, and Bart Simpson. Yeah, so everyone got killed. Well, Bart got saved by his dad, and then the toupee actually came to life, and all that crazy crap. Terror of Tiny Toons, that was the one that I was like, man, that's just so crazy. Just the fact of you had, well, what happened is Marge was like, oh, well, you kids shouldn't be watching the freaking Halloween specials. They're too violent. And she took the batteries and put them in the purse. Homer was dressed as a hobo and was playing, what was it? Harmonica. Yeah, he was playing a harmonica saying, the mom took those batteries. It was 2 double A's. And they slammed the door on them. And they actually went to Homer's, excuse me, lunch bag or something and got a plutonium cube. And Bart just hammered the plutonium cube in the remote and it worked perfectly fine, and it actually worked like Clicks. Yeah, remember Click the movie? It worked just like Click the movie, except even more so. I can't really explain how it works, but they were actually in lots and lots of, they were in TV, and then they had lots and lots of stuff, and Itchy and Scratchy got pissed off that they were laughing at their pain, so it ended basically with Itchy and Scratchy breaking open the TV and attacking him, which you had Homer picking up Itchy and putting him in a rat cage, or a mouse cage, or whatever you want to call it, And then they got Scratchy and Snowball fell in love. But guess what? Marge just said, well, it looks like we got to get him neutered. And he covered himself and said, no! As for Starship Poopers, I think this was when we find out in the Treehouse of Horror universe that Maggie actually is Kang's daughter. So she is actually a human alien hybrid. Yeah, holy frick indeed. Holy frick. Number 10, I don't remember. I think this actually might have been the one where you had comic book guy being a bad guy and trying to make sure everything is in mint condition. He actually had a real life lightsaber that was in packaging. So that was kind of crazy. And it actually works. Well, anyways, we're skipping to number 11. Number 11, we have, well, I don't remember the other two. But in the end, oh wait, I think Ghost Dad could actually be the one where Homer actually ate broccoli, choked on it. He came back down, and he ate the broccoli again as a ghost. And he thought that, he's like, yeah, that's the best thing to do, is do that. And then after that, he actually wandered the world saying, what good deed can I do? And while he was just sitting there in the library on the steps, a baby carriage actually went down those steps and about to get hit by a car. And he picked up the baby and said, what the hell are you whining about? And he saved the baby, but St. Peter actually missed the righteous act and just said, well, I missed it, so you're going to hell. So it's like, oh, well, that's just bull crap. The real thing I have to talk about is Night of the Dolphin. You got Snarky, which you can see him on the Simpsons game. And my gosh, that was a horrible level to play, and a hard level, because that took a long time to actually beat. Did I beat that level? I don't even remember if I beat that level or not. But anyway, so you just had the dolphins emitting. Well, Snarky was actually incarcerated, in quotations, at the zoo. So you basically just had the whole idea of he was the leader. They took his leader and incarcerated him. So since Lisa let him free, now you had dolphins who was coming into Earth, well, stepping on land and taking over the city. And my goodness, they were vicious on that. Number 12, don't remember that much. Number 13, I think I should just mention the fact of sending the clones. This was the actual one where Homer had a bunch of clones made of, and the clones actually was drinking beer and being obnoxious and being So what they did is made a big fat donut and had it hanging over the gorge. Sadly, the real Homer actually, oh, I forgot. It was the hammock. It was a magic hammock that actually created clones. But anyways, yeah, so you had the original Homer actually falling over that cliff, getting that big donut, and you had a clone who stayed behind, and now Marge is living with a clone in that universe. And that actually happened in a futuristic episode, too, funny enough. The Frightened Creep, and I forgot what that middle one was, but the Island of Dr. Hibbert, I remember, that was crazy. He turned everyone into a monster, or technically an animal, and Homer revamped In the Jungle. Instead it would be like, in the jungle, the freaky jungle, Homer rides a freak. That was so funny. Alright, well, that one needed to be mentioned. 14, I think I remember 14. Finkenstein was basically him Professor Frink, actually recreated, what he did is just made his father come back to life. And his father kept on gathering brains for knowledge, which was just, yeah, it was kind of crazy. Anyways, 15, did I mention 15? No, I didn't mention 15. 15, 16, 17, yeah, 15, 16, 17. I remember 16 was actually the last, wait, what? I guess that was. So anyways, 16, just to mention, Survival of the Fattest. That was when Mr. Burns got all the fat people and was just hunting them down. Homer was about to get killed, but Marge saved him and they had sex. Yeah, they had sex, and the dude commentator who was commentating actually blocked our view of seeing them actually have sex. But who really wants to see them have sex anyways? And they were all, yeah, the freaking commentators were remarking of how they're actually watching them have sex and if it's legal for it to be on television if they actually would do it, which they sure did. Alright, number 17, number 8. Yeah, I mentioned number 18, didn't I? I wanted to mention number 18. Yeah, I wanted to mention number 18. Number 8. Oh, number 17. Alright, number 17, what I need to mention about this is the last one. Which, of course, yes, I know, Married to a Blob was kind of funny, especially with Sir Mix-a-Lot actually making a parody of his song that was funny. I remember the Golem one too, and they actually hinted at the Golem on a certain episode later, which that was interesting. Yeah, the fact of Twilight actually featured that Golem. But anyways, it's Smool. Well, anyways, the day the Earth looked stupid was crazy as hell. The fact that all of the freaking people of Springfield actually stripped themselves naked and pretended they were animals in the mud, which was crazy as hell. Yeah, but then it turns out there was a real alien invasion that happened. Number 18, all I gotta mention is, well, I mentioned E.T. Go Home. That one was interesting. The fact of what if E.T. was actually evil and he was actually calling for his people to, yeah, not only that, but they got rid of weapons too. Yeah, they melted all their weapons away so they couldn't defend themselves against the Regalians. I think that's what their alien name is. Yeah, but they actually created weapons like a freaking 2x4 with a nail sticking out of it. And previously, I think last Halloween, we actually got on Simpsons Tap Out a nice little nod to that. Yeah, it was last. Well, anyways, Mr. and Mrs. Simpson is the one I really wanted to talk about the most. It's just the fact of they actually had Mr. and Mrs. Smith mentioned. So you had Homer being a agent and you had Marge being an agent as well. It's just basically Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then unlike Mr. and Mrs. Smith where they actually just did therapy, you had Marge and Homer shooting the therapist guy, which I forgot who it was, but yeah, they shot the therapist guy. I was so talking about this crown jewel, definitely talk about this crown jewel, but I'll talk about it in a minute. Oh, I didn't mean to mark that. Why is that even there? Yeah, I didn't even mean to actually have that one. But anyways, the rest of them downhill was good, but there's just one that I'm going to end this all with. Oh, 23rd. Why the 23rd is marked? Oh, 23rd right here. Oh, Bart and Homer's Excellent Adventure. And also the Unnormal Activity was crazy as well. And the Greatest Story Ever Hold. That was a crazy story. So this whole entire thing was crazy. So that's why I need to mention it. Is because, my gosh. I mean, Bart screwed over Homer in the last one. Definitely. And the second one, technically, it was Marge who screwed over Homer. And the last one after that was just the fact. The first one was actually just nothing but the hole becoming bigger and bigger. And the only way to actually seal up the hole was a pacifier. Which, wow. The rest of them are okay. I think the last one was School is Hell. Which, that was when Bart actually realized that he actually is good torturing people. And that was his profession that he had a calling for. So yeah, that was the one that I needed to talk about. But last but not least, and the one that I really want to talk about, is the one that was told so over the top that every other one after this seemed very, very lacking. I mean, I guess 23 does have a little bit, but they outdid themselves on freaking Treehouse of Horror 19. Treehouse of Horror 19, they actually had a parody of Transformers, and they called it Untitled Robot Parody, which it was crazy as hell. You had the Autobots and the Decepticons fighting over themselves. You also had the whole what happened in the first movie, where if the cube touched some appliances, oh, that happened in the second one too. But anyways, if the cube touched appliances, they turn into robots as well. But in this case, they're all good guys, and there were appliances. I think they had an alarm clock. I forgot the other ones. Oh, the toaster did it too. The toaster transforms into the word no. My goodness, that's the crappiest transformer I ever heard. And then they had Sex Toy, which was a transformer. That was funny as hell. And it said, Sex Toy, where have you been? Where haven't I been? My gosh. Oh man, that was just the perfect one. That one I watched over and over again when I was able to get the chance to. The next one was how to get ahead in dead advertising or dead whatever. Anyways, this one was basically the one that was like the downer of it all. The one that didn't really compare to what it should have been. Yeah, so that one was like the one that ranked in third place. So this one, basically you had Homer killing celebrities so they could actually use their likeness without having to pay a lot of money. And then after that, you had like lots of ghosts. I forgot how they did it. But yet some ghosts who actually came. Like for instance, President Lincoln got pissed off. And you also had John Wayne sassing. Yeah, John Wayne and Prince having a little fight with each other. He's like, is that mustache coming or going? That's not what your mom said last night. He said, you're all right, Pilgrim, or something like that. I forgot what he said, truthfully. But it still is okay. It still is okay one. I might actually give that one a second try. The third one is the final one that was like the ceiling coffin of where I stamped in and say, this is the best one I ever seen. It's a Great Pumpkin Millhouse. So they actually, unlike all of the Charlie Browns, which I don't even include Robot Chicken because that's crap. Yeah, Robot Chicken was really, really sad. But this one, you actually did have the Great Pumpkin showing up. And all you needed was just a belief of a child and a tear. So what happened is the Great Pumpkin showed up and he's like, Happy Halloween. And then Millhouse was a dumb idiot saying, here, have some of this. And he's like, what's this? Pumpkin seed? You eat the unborn? And then he's like, revenge! And then he start attacking people. And then Homer was carving jack-o'-lanterns. And he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut some triangle eyes out of you, a triangle nose, and then give you the worst teeth in the world, square. And then as soon as he did the first little cut in the pumpkin, he said, no, revenge, and ate Homer. That was funny as hell. And then he made it to the Halloween dance where Millhouse made it to. And he's like, everyone run for your lives, the Great Pumpkin. And then, boom, the Great Pumpkin showed himself. And he's like, oh my gosh, the horror I see, the horror. And he started attacking everyone. And then Nelson, which this was the best part, was Nelson got a white pumpkin and said, don't come any closer. And you know what the Great Pumpkin said? He said, why do I care? That's a white pumpkin. Oh my gosh, you're a racist. All pumpkins are racist. The only difference is I admit it. And he ate Nelson. And Nelson said, I rather die than hate. So you had that crazy thing going on. And the only way that they got saved was by Lisa using Millhouse's imagination and created Tom Turkey. And Tom Turkey used that, you know, that crazy thing in Thanksgiving that you're supposed to feel. He used that to kill the Great Pumpkin. And Homer didn't want to leave the Great Pumpkin's head because it felt so warm in there. But anyways, after that, sadly, Millhouse yet again with the smart idea of telling Tom Turkey that they eat turkeys, and then Tom Turkey started to eat people. Frick, man. Yeah, and then they actually had a personal thing of, if you guys were pissed off about this, you could write us at warp, 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 warp. Oh, man. Treehouse of Horror. Definitely a good one. The best one, like I said, is the 19th version. So, tell me what you guys think about this. Chances are you guys enjoyed the original 10 and didn't even go past 10, which you missed something. Was Snarky like 11? Yep, Snarky was the 11th one, so that means that you definitely missed out. Oh, actually no, Snarky did. Yeah, Snarky was a part of the 10-year whatever. So I guess that's okay. Yeah, I guess that's okay, but it depends anyways. But still, you guys missed some stuff if you want to just like the original 10 years of The Simpsons. But anyways, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more Throwback Thursday, and happy Halloween, of course.